So we all understand the importance of training, but I'm here to tell you that it's not enough. Training's for the already converted. We need the actual conversion in order for this to work. So there's two different customer HVAC contractor avatars. There's the struggling HVAC contractor, and we know who that is because there's always that fight, there's always that battle. It's like dragging an elephant all the time, right? We're dealing with the seasonality of the business. We're dealing with cash flow problems. We can't keep the books free. We can't get the margins that we need out of our customers, right? We can't seem to keep up. It's just a constant struggle. But we have another contractor we refer to as the new generation HVAC entrepreneur. Now we're talking a whole nother level. The difference is they have to go through the transition. We call this transition the HVAC 4X effect. The X is the X factor, right? We know that X factor is that one thing that you just can't put your finger on, but it's just something special. So if you know that contractor that always seems to get the big ticket sales, right? They always seem to have the loyalty of the solid customers. If you're dealing with that, you haven't made that transition from the struggling HVAC contractor over to the entrepreneur. So let's talk about what really makes this happen at the individual level, because at the end of the day, it's always about the people. It's about the customers that you attract, it's about the employees that you employ, and it's about you as a leader. So in this example, let's talk about your employees. Let's talk about this one element, and this is why I'm saying it's not about the training. Training is for the converted. It's about the conversion. So let's look at this. Here we have three sectors. This green one represents knowledge and skills. Knowledge and skills. So let's talk about your service technicians. Do they have the knowledge and do they have the skill set in order to perform the task that you're asking them to? Secondly, expectations. This is you, boss. This is what you're telling them. I want you to go do this. This is how I want you to run a service call. I want you to offer IAQ, for example, when you're out on a service call. If you have a need for IAQ, you're going to offer that. I expect you, because I've trained you, to do so. Now, training doesn't work if they're not converted. This is your beliefs, or more specifically, this is your employee beliefs. This is what they believe. Okay? And so here's the deal. You think you know what your employees believe. You think they're on board with you. You think that when you tell them to do something, they're out there doing it. But I'm here to tell you they're not. You don't believe me because you don't know. And I'm going to give you an example right now. How many of us had parents who really knew us, knew what we were thinking, knew what we were doing? Or did we tell our parents what we knew they wanted to hear so that we could move on with our life and do what we wanted to? Wasn't that the case? Listen, in many cases, we employers are like parents. We have people under our direction that will tell us what we want to hear in order to move forward with their lives and live life more comfortably, or in this case, be more comfortable at work. But let's talk about what happens when some of these elements are missing. First of all, let's say that they have the knowledge to do that indoor air quality, to offer that, right? And so if they have the knowledge and they have your direction to go do this, this is a green, what does that mean in terms of results? Well, here's our action scale, and here's the successful results scale. So in this case, this is green. They know what to do and they know you want them to do it, and they're trying, right? Their actions are up here, what, about 80% on the scale of 100%? They're trying. But their results might be only about 30%. They're not actually being successful. Why? Because they don't believe in it. They don't believe that they're doing a good service by offering this stuff that may or may not work, right? They don't believe in what they're doing. This is key. Let's say that they have the knowledge and they have the belief. They believe in something. But you're taking the company in a different direction right now. I want you working on this, Mr. Technician, Mrs. Technician. This is what I want you to focus on. So on this blue zone, they've got the knowledge, they believe in it, they're still gonna slip in there and offer, look, don't tell the boss I offered you this, but this is what you really need, right? And because they believe in it, look at that success rate, it's way up. See the difference there? People are successful when they're allowed to do what they believe. That's the point. Let's look at the top end. Let's say that you have an expectation and they believe in what you're trying to ask them to do, but they don't have the knowledge or they don't have the proper skill set. Well, that brings them all the way down here, right? They're out there trying, but they're not going to be very successful. So the training is a key element, but again, training is for the converted. So what happens when we have all three aligned? You're the boss. Not only have you asked them to do something, you have properly trained them in a way that they were converted. So now they believe in what they're doing. They know how to do it. You're freeing them up and giving them all the tools in order to do it successfully. Now we're way up here. They're offering it just about every time. And they're successful just about every time because they truly believe in what they're offering. Now there's one additional factor, and that is, while beliefs are internal motivation, external motivation is key. This is the carrot and the stick, right? This is your spiff program, your bonuses, your commissions, or you getting on their backside if they don't do it, right? That will move any of these up, but it's not sustainable, okay? It's not sustainable if these things aren't in place. And this is key for your employees. Now, similar principles, and this is all part of HVAC 4X effect. The 4X means 4 times. We can get 4, even though these look marginal in terms of percentage of the time it's offered, what they do is they synergize or they layer. 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 2, it equals 3 or 4. 1 plus 2 plus 3 might equal 10. You might 10 times your results at the end of the business cycle versus if you're missing one of these key elements. Now, does this apply one time? No, it does not. This is a universal application that you must have fully employed if it's going to work for you. So it's expectation. This is you, boss. This, obviously, we have to make sure that you're offering the right things, right? This is what you are asking your employees to go out and do. The knowledge and skill set, this is what they know how to do, and they have the talent and the skills in order to do it, the experience to do it. And this is their beliefs. But at the end of the day, it's always about the people. If you have this right with your employees, but you don't have this right with your customers, now you're misaligned again. These apply to your customers, these apply to your employees, and this applies to you. And that's the HVAC4 effect. So if you're really ready to make that transition over from the struggling HVAC contractor over to the new generation HVAC entrepreneur, then this is a skill set that you must have fully embraced in your business model. Pete Ramsey here, HVAC Greatness. Hope this helped. Talk to you on the next one. Bye-bye.